Is the dream of American entrepreneurship officially dead in New York City? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a transformation that will either save the working class or collapse under the weight of government incompetence? Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and keeps us focused on bringing you the stories that matter most. New York City's mayor, Zohran Mamdani, has just lit a powder keg in the world of American politics. While standing in the Bronx to announce the launch of a new, city-run grocery store initiative, Mamdani decided to pick a fight with a ghost, specifically, the ghost of the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. Reagan famously warned the American people that the 9 most terrifying words in the English language were, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." It's a quote that has served as the bedrock of conservative philosophy for decades, emphasizing the dangers of federal overreach and the inefficiency of state-managed institutions. But Mamdani wasn't having any of it. With a crowd cheering behind him, he looked directly at that legacy and dismissed it. He told the audience that he disagrees with the Jipper, offering his own version of terrifying words, "I worked all day and can't feed my family." Now, on the surface, that sounds like a passionate defense of the working class. It's the kind of rhetoric that resonates in a city struggling with inflation and rising costs. However, the path he is proposing to solve these issues is what has set the internet on fire. Mamdani is pushing for government-run grocery stores, a project he calls a grand experiment. He has promised 5 of these locations across the city, with a massive 20,000 square foot store coming to the Bronx by 2027 and another in East Harlem slated for 2029. He argues that when the government understands its purpose as serving the people, it can succeed where the private sector has allegedly left them behind. But the backlash was immediate, and it was fierce. Critics aren't just calling this a bad policy, they're calling it a dangerous pivot to the far left. Conservative commentator Eric Doherty didn't mince words, taking to social media to label the move as going full deranged Marxist. The concerns being raised are practical and historical. If the government is now going to compete with private businesses, what happens to the neighborhood grocers who have been serving these communities for generations? What happens when you combine the efficiency of the public sector, which is already struggling with a crumbling MTA and constant service strikes, with the complexity of the supply chain and food retail? Andrew Calvert from Turning Point USA put it perfectly, noting that Mamdani has effectively flipped Reagan's warning on its head. The concern here is that the city will use taxpayer advantages to undercut private competition, effectively creating a monopoly that the government manages. And we all know the track record of government-managed monopolies: high costs, low quality, and zero accountability. Jennifer Harrison of the Victims' Rights Reform Council hit the nail on the head when she reminded everyone that New York's track record with government-run services is, at best, a disaster. If you look at the state of the public transportation system, the potholes in the streets, and the general state of bureaucracy, does anyone actually believe the city is capable of running a supermarket better than a business owner whose livelihood depends on the quality of their service? This isn't just about groceries. It's a philosophical battle over the role of the state. It is a fundamental question of whether the government should be a referee, or if it should be the player, the coach, and the owner of the stadium. If this experiment fails, and the critics argue it is destined to, it will be the taxpayers of New York who foot the bill. So, what do you think about this? Is this a genuine attempt to help hungry families, or is it a deranged power grab that will end in economic failure for the city? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This story is evolving, and it's a clear signal that the divide in our country is only growing wider. Whether you support the intervention or see it as the beginning of a socialist collapse, one thing is certain: the eyes of the nation are on New York. We will keep you updated as this story develops, but until then, keep asking the hard questions and demanding accountability from those in power. Stay tuned, stay informed, and we will see you in the next video.